We're back here on the Greyson Tax podcast. Haven't quite come up with an official name yet, but I'm Brian, and as always, Kevin, our partner of the day. Not actually of the day, but always. Yeah, we're here to talk a little bit about a couple different topics, but mainly we're going to jump into some topics surrounding the NFL payroll allegations, whatever you want to call it. That's happening to San Francisco 49ers right now, and we'll jump into some other topics. But yeah, we can jump right into that if we want.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not every day that you hear about accounting and tax scandals in professional sports. So
Yeah.
definitely a timely topic and a lot to learn
Why
from
don't you
what's going
let
on.
them know? Like talk for a second about what actually what happened, like what went down. Why did they get they lost a first round draft pick, did they?
I don't know if it was a first round draft pick. We need to get a fact checker for our
The fact checker.
conversations here.
Yeah.
But the team, the San Francisco 49ers. This team just played in the Super Bowl. One of the
Right.
best teams in the NFL,
Well,
arguably the best team,
yeah.
you know, uh, just played in the Super Bowl and we're going into the draft. Uh, Free agency teams are trading for players. There's all these massive headlines. And one of the biggest headlines has to do with payroll and accounting.
Yeah.
Um, Brian and I, we both played football, right? You know, we're a little washed up these days, but we both played football in college. And so when you combine these two topics, it's definitely interesting. So a recap of what happened. So NFL teams, there's a salary cap to how much they can pay their players. So what they found is that there were some fudged numbers with the payroll for the 49ers. Now they're alleging that, oh, it didn't impact our the effect on the salary cap. You know, we weren't trying to, show lower numbers than the reality, but they were fined and they actually lost significant assets. They had some pretty big penalties because of these the payroll reports were entered incorrectly and showed the wrong numbers. So they're actually losing draft picks, not just this year, but I think next year as well.
And ultimately, if you extrapolate that over the course of maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4 years, think about the ramifications of that error. Right? They lose a draft pick. I don't know if it's a first round draft pick, but let's just assume it is. They they were one of the best teams. Let's just say they were picking in the last 2 or 3 spots of the first round.
When
So,
did their starting quarterback get drafted?
well, he was in the 6th round.
Mr.
He
Irrelevant.
was the
He was
last.
the last pick of the
So,
draft.
right. So let's imagine that they lose a first round pick. That let's say that first round pick helps them win more games, and I mean, sells more sells more tickets. Like you're talking about tens of millions of dollars in potential quote unquote fines that they maybe don't have to pay out of pocket directly, but that they have to pay as an organization for making these errors. Um, Now it's not like the IRS is coming down on them, but it's the NFL. Of course, if they were
Which is
making some sort
worse.
of fraud, yeah, yeah, obviously it's worse. But if it was fraudulent, I mean, obviously the IRS would get involved in some capacity. But yeah, you gotta do your payroll the right way. Just had a client. I mean, we do a lot of returns for NFL guys, so we see their payroll and stuff like that. But I was just talking to a client a little bit ago, and they were asking, should I pay my employees as a 1099 or a W-2? She basically said like, my employees are definitely W-2 employees, but I want to pay them 1099 because I don't want to pay payroll taxes. I'm like, well, I mean, there's definitely an elevated risk. I don't think you should do that because if you do, then you're going to have penalties and interest, and you're going to owe trust fund. There's a whole bunch of things that go into 941s and 940s for payroll taxes. But she was like, well, how would they know? How's the IRS going to know? It's like, they freaking know. Okay. They know these things. And if they don't know, they'll come audit your ass. They're going to find out. So don't mess around with your payroll. Like if someone's a 1099, pay them as a 1099. If they're a W-2, pay them as a W-2. And it's very easy to distinguish between the two different ways to do it. But so yeah, how about like how the tax returns are and stuff for NFL guys? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, the salary cap is one conversation. When it turns to the actual tax world and getting involved with, you're not just talking about the IRS anymore. You're talking about the state, taxing authorities. You're talking about municipal, local, city taxing authorities. To give you an example, for these professional athletes, when they're collecting their weekly paycheck in season, and they're playing in a different state in a different city, they actually have to pay taxes to those cities and states that they play in. So when we're doing returns for some of these guys, they may live in Florida or Texas. Oh, no state income tax. Awesome. Well, if they're playing a game in Ohio, they could be playing two games, right? Cleveland and Cincinnati. They also have to have taxes withheld to Ohio that week for that week's paycheck, which could be $1 million paycheck based on, what their salary
Yeah,
is.
you're right.
Now they have to pay tax to the state of Ohio, and they have to pay taxes to the cities that they play in. So if they're playing in Cleveland or Cincinnati, those are municipalities that have local city taxes as well. So
Same
now
with
do the
Pittsburgh.
math.
Well,
How Pittsburgh as well? How many games are they playing? How many states are they playing in? What are the additional costs, not just to the state taxes, the city taxes, but now you got to pay to do the tax returns for every single one of those states and municipalities, right?
it's honestly ridiculous. I mean, to the
So
point where you know,
so it's not just, the 49ers got in trouble for, their how they're running payroll. Well, what if they ran payroll wrong for each of their players? How many people are on the active roster? Over 50, right? So now you could be talking about 50 people that got the wrong payroll end of year documents, the wrong W 2s that
yeah,
had the wrong withholdings. Now you're talking about hundreds of tax returns that need to get filed for their team. So, yeah, they lost a couple draft picks, but now you could have your own players that could end up owing. It could be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes across the country, right?
yeah, you're talking about amended W-2s, amended tax returns, amended local returns, amended state returns. We don't obviously know the capacity to which these payroll errors took place, but yeah, I mean, you would assume someone in that office got fired and they were pushing the wrong numbers.
Well, someone's got to fall on the knife, right? Fall on the sword.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Someone in that payroll department got fired for sure.
Mm.
But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if you're a business owner out there and you have employees, don't mess with your payroll. Don't try and do it yourself every week. If you have a couple of employees, you got two, three, four employees, you have a salary, they're hourly, like sure, you gotta do your payroll yourself, run it through QuickBooks, run it through Square Payroll or Gusto or
After it's
companies.
after it's set up correctly,
Yeah,
right?
after
If
it's
you
set
don't
up
know how to
correctly.
set it up,
If it's set up correctly, if you have 10 employees, 15, 20, like if you have 20 plus employees, there's other regulations that you have to meet for payroll. Like don't try and do it on your own. Hire a team of payroll professionals that can do this. We don't do payroll directly. We have partners that do it with us. We can put you in contact with these people, but yeah, don't mess around
yeah,
because
when it comes to your books, your payroll, those numbers have to be accurate, because if they're not, everything is thrown off, your taxes are thrown off, and you could be digging yourself in a deeper hole than what you think. So that, what Brian and I always say to, a lot of the business owners that we speak to, don't play accountant.
yeah,
It's, first of all, it's no fun to play accountant unless you're sick like we are and we actually enjoy this stuff. But you're running a business, you're a business owner. You want to spend your time, doing what you enjoy, and, doing the accounting, the payroll, the taxes. It's not that fun. It takes a lot of time and it's complicated. Let the professionals do it. You can spend more time either growing your own business, which is what you're good at, or spend more time, taking vacations, enjoying time with your family and friends. So, you know, let the pros do their job and focus on what you're good at. Don't get in trouble. No one needs the extra headaches.
yeah. And I would say, the part of getting into understanding like when you actually need help. If you even think that you need help, it's probably worth a conversation with an accounting firm, a tax professional, tax advisory firm. That's really what we are. We're a tax advisory firm because we help our clients save money on taxes, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Like if this is something on your mind that you don't know, like should I do that? Should I not? Like give us a call, give an accounting firm a call because there's probably your opportunities. I mean, for the most part, if you're a business owner making more than $50,000 a year, like you have options. Like you should be keeping accurate books. You should be keeping, accurate P&Ls and balance sheets and finding ways to save money on taxes. And if you have employees, payrolls, etc. So, you know, there is a level where you benefit more greatly, but yeah, there's options out there for everyone.
Cool. Well, accounting, the biggest drama in the NFL. Who would have
There you
thought?
go, man. Until next time.
All right, man.